at least 10,000 or more people are dead or gone from the cyclone that ravaged or tore apart Burma, or now called Myanmar, and the toll could go much higher. Tropical Cyclone Nargis hit the Southeast Asian country known as Burma early Saturday with winds of at least up to 120 miles per hour, leaving hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people homeless. And just before the cyclone hit, the government had only put out storm news, saying the cyclone, or I guess like a hurricane, would travel at about 30 miles an hour. But actually, it struck at almost 4 times that speed. The government somehow misled people. They could have warned us about the severity of the coming cyclone or hurricane so we could be better prepared. Or maybe it's called like a storm. In the former capital, food and fuel prices have soared as aid agencies are scrambling to deliver emergency supplies and determine the damage in the 5 declared disaster zones, home to approximately 24 million people. That's quite a bit. A radio station broadcasting from the country's capital said that 2,879 more people are unaccounted for in just a single town alone. Reports are coming out of the Delta coast that in some villages up to 95% of houses have been destroyed. Said a spokesman for the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's Geneva headquarters. Widespread destruction is obviously making it much more difficult to get aid to people who need it most. The situation in the countryside remains unclear because of poor communications and roads left impassable by the storm, with just millions of knocked down trees. Hundreds of thousands in immediate dire need. It's very clear that we're dealing with a very, very serious situation. The full extent of the impact and needs will require an extensive on-the-ground assessment, said a spokesman in Bangkok, Thailand, for the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. What is clear at this point is that there are at least several hundred thousands of people, if not more, in emergency need of shelter and clean drinking water. Fast. The cyclone blew roofs off hospitals and schools and cut electricity in Myanmar's or Burma's largest city. Older citizens said they had never ever seen a city of some 6.5 million so devastated in their lifetimes. Massive devastation. With the city's already unstable electricity supply virtually non-functional, citizens lined up to buy candles, which have doubled in price, and water, since lack of electricity-driven pumps left most households dry. Some walked to the city's lakes to wash. The price of a gallon of gasoline has gone to $10 a gallon, if not more. Many roofs were ripped off even sturdy buildings, suggesting damage would be severe in the shanty towns that lie on the outskirts of the city of more than 5 million people. At the city's notorious Insein prison. Soldiers and police killed at least 36 prisoners to quell a riot that started when inmates were herded into a large hall and started a fire just to try to keep warm, a Thailand-based human rights group has said. State television showed military and police units on rescue and cleanup operations. But residents complained the government's response has been very weak. Where are the soldiers and police? They were very quick and aggressive when there were protests in the streets last year, said a retired government worker. Hotels and richer families were using private generators, but only sparingly. Now that the soaring price of fuel has reached $10 a gallon for gasoline, if not more. Many have stayed away from their jobs, either because they could not find transportation or because they now have to seek food and shelter for their families. This is another sign. This is another sign of the end times, last days, whatever you want to call it. But it's true. Hurricanes, cyclones, tornadoes, more than anybody's ever seen. Massive, devastating storms. These are the beginning of sorrows, as spoken of in the Holy Bible. Yes, these are more signs. It's time to get ready.